สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome to Hot Thai Kitchen. So as you may know, my new book just came out and I wrote this book to give people easy everyday Thai recipes and I made it to be beginner friendly. And the more I've been talking about it, the more it makes me think about what would it be like for a complete Thai food novice to cook from my book. So today I want to get into the shoes of a Thai cooking novice. So this hypothetical person would be someone who's born and raised in the Western world. They love to cook, but they've never cooked Thai food. So I'm going to simulate their experience all the way from shopping to eating. Should be fun. Let's get started. So first, we gotta pick a recipe. And I'm trying to look at these recipes from the perspective of a novice. And so nothing that looks too weird or intimidating, something that maybe sounds a bit familiar maybe. Definitely nothing with ingredients they've never heard of in it, so winter melon, maybe don't go with that. Automatically nothing with galangal in it, I'm gonna eliminate. So let's go with no fry sweet and sour pork. And I like this one because sweet and sour is like a familiar concept, right? It's, most people are familiar with it in the context of Chinese food. The Thai version is a little bit different. It's lighter, it's not fried, no deep frying, great. A quick look down the ingredient list, nothing weird or unfamiliar, anything that might require a trip to a specialty store. So it looks like a good candidate. Let's go shopping. I don't even think we need to go to an Asian store for this, so I'm just gonna try the international aisle at a local Western store. And I'm gonna assume that our novice doesn't have any Asian ingredients in the pantry, so we'll need to get quite a few things. Let's start with soy sauce. There are a bunch of different soy sauces here that'll definitely trip up a novice, which is why I included a guide for ingredients and suggested that Japanese soy sauce will work for Thai cooking, so that is what we'll get. Oyster sauce. Thankfully, there's only one to choose from, which makes it easy, and it happens to be the one recommended in the book. Yay! Sriracha style hot sauce. There are a couple of brands here, but again, when in doubt, stick with the classic Rooster brand. Sesame oil. Now, I don't know why they're stocking 4 different brands, to be honest. There's no way to tell the difference, so I'm just gonna stick with Kikkoman, which we know and trust. I need fresh pineapple, but instead of a whole pineapple, which is a pain to prep, the recipe notes that I can get the pre-cut ones from the ready-to-eat food section, so one of these is perfect. I also need an onion, a bell pepper, and some garlic. So I am grabbing produce, and the recipe calls for Japanese or Persian cucumber, which they don't have. They only have English cucumber. And I think this is definitely going to trip up a novice who might at this point need to look up on their phone whether English cucumber is a workable substitute. So let's look it up. So thekitchen.com does confirm that English cucumber can be used interchangeably. So English cucumber it is. And come to think of it, maybe I should have noted that in the book, but I'll note it for the second printing. Woohoo! It's on sale! It's my lucky day. So I got everything in one store. Didn't have to go to the Asian store. Yay! And it all fits in one bag. And now, to brave the cold, back to the studio. Okay, got our stuff. Let's get prepping. First, we need to chop some garlic. Then I'm going to cut the onion into 1/3 inch strips or 8 millimeters for metric users. I need to chop the pineapple and julienne some bell pepper. Cucumbers halved and sliced. When the instructions are not super specific like this, it means that it doesn't matter exactly how you cut it as long as it's a reasonable size given the dish. And you can always use the photo as a guide. Now for the pork. Remove any silver skin from the pork and then cut the tenderloin in half horizontally. Now cut each half into 1/3 inch or 8 millimeter slices and then place in a small mixing bowl. See, unlike the cucumber, I needed to be precise with the pork because that affects whether the pork is going to be overcooked or undercooked in the time that I give in the instructions. So when it matters, I do give details. The pork gets a little love with some soy sauce, so the flavor will be also in the meat and not just in the sauce. Now we gotta make the sauce by combining all the ingredients together. So that's our brown sugar, white vinegar, sesame oil, oyster sauce, soy sauce, and sriracha. And stir that until the sugar is mostly dissolved. Now, the recipe calls for a wok, which a novice might not have, so I'm going to opt for the most common piece of cookware in a North American home, a non-stick skillet. We're going to place our skillet on high heat and add the oil. Once the oil is very hot, we're going to add the pork and spread it out into one layer so that it can brown a bit and develop some flavor. Now, I did not get very good browning on my pork, and I will very quickly find out that this is because my gas was about to run out. But if you're using a weak electric stove at home, you may struggle with browning as well, and that's okay. It is what it is. Don't overcook the pork just to get the browning. Now you want to toss the pork for about 30 seconds, just until most of the exterior looks done. Don't worry about cooking it through at this point. We will finish it again with everything else. Remove the pork from the pan, leaving all the juices and oil behind. Here's a tip. Everything that we've done to this point can be prepped in advance, even a whole day before. In the same pan, I'm going to saute the garlic and onions in that delicious pork juice until the smallest bits of garlic starts to turn golden. Then all of the veggies can go in all at once, as well as the sauce. And here I realized the challenge with stir frying in a skillet rather than a wok. It is hard to keep things from exiting the pan, so I had to use a double spatula here to make it work. And now we just need a few minutes to cook the veggies through. Even though all of these veggies can be eaten raw, I am sensitive to raw pineapple, so I need to make sure that they're cooked or my tongue will be sore afterwards. Aside from working around a skillet, the stir frying is pretty straightforward even for a novice. No special techniques required here. And finally, we add the pork back in along with all the juices in the bowl to finish cooking. And this is when I noticed that things were not sizzling as they should. And our gas is gone. Intermission. New gas. Oh yes. Now let's give it some final hurrah in an actually hot pan. Woohoo! There we go. And that is done. Oh, off heat, and then cashews go in. Cashews go in at the end so they don't get soggy, so they can remain crunchy. And you can always top it with some extra cashews at the table. Alrighty, let's eat. You would never think of a sweet and sour dish that you get from a Chinese takeout as something healthy, but this certainly is. A meal for four, with jasmine rice, of course, and that is listed in the ingredient list, even though I almost forgot to cook it today, which happens a lot. I forget to cook rice a lot. Cucumber. If you've never had stir-fried cucumber, you're missing out. Now, going through this experience was actually quite interesting for me because when I cook Thai food, everything is familiar, right? But when I try to approach it like a novice, there were so many questions that came up that I don't normally have to deal with. Now, the good news is the cooking part was actually quite straightforward. There was nothing, in the cooking that was particularly unique to Thai cuisine, no new skills to learn. But getting the ingredients was the most challenging part, like oyster sauce. Which brand? How many types are there? Soy sauce. And you go to the store and there are like 4 different brands. What do you do with that, right? So there are a lot of questions that need to be answered. And I try to anticipate that in the book. In the ingredient section, I do make product recommendations to help you with that. But the good news, the other good news, is that because it's ingredient related, you only have to deal with it a few times. Once you've got your pantry stocked up, you're all set for the rest of Thai dishes. So the takeaway message is, if you want to get comfortable with Thai cooking, the only way to do it is to do it more, and next thing you know, it'll just be normal for you. So the recipe, as always, will be on hotthaikitchen.com, and if you're interested in the book, the link to buy will be in the description below. And hey, if you're a Thai cooking novice and you want to share with us your experience, I'd love to hear it. share with us in the comments. And a special thanks to all of our Patreon members who help support the show. And if you want to know what that's all about, how you can watch the video ad-free and get bonus content, the description below will also have those details. Thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time. สวัสดีค่ะ